This is the new entry-level Porsche Macan. Now, what makes it entry-level? Just give me a second. Now that's a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo-petrol engine. Doesn't sound Porsche enough, right? Still, let's give it a fair shot. As mentioned, the engine in question is a 2-litre 4-cylinder unit. It's not the newfangled flat 4 that powers the 718 Boxster, but a more traditional inline 4. Before you write off the small engine, you should know that it makes 252 horsepower and 370 Newton meters. So what can those numbers do? Launch control activated, we managed a 0 to 100 kph time of 6.6 seconds. A satisfactory beginning to the review, but it didn't end there. The impression just got stronger and stronger. This version of the Macan feels very athletic. It's quick to build speed, and the mid-range is really where the action begins. And then on, the Macan pulls all the way to 6,500 RPM and beyond. And it does so while sounding quite good too. One gripe I have with smaller engines is that they never end up sounding quite as nice as the larger ones. This one actually does. It's nice and quiet when you need it to be, but wind it up and it emits a nice snarl. It's not very loud, but it does tell you rather clearly that this is a sports SUV. Unquestionably, the Porsche 7-speed dual-clutch PDK gearbox is also integral to how the Macan goes the way it does. The Macan's gearbox works very well. It's quick and very responsive to manual inputs. The only catch is that it doesn't hold at the red line in manual mode at full throttle. And you'll also notice that gear shifts are a bit harsh when you're really going for it. Still, those are inconsequential complaints in the big picture. There's enough and more performance for our driving environment, and you'll seldom find yourself wondering what it would have been like with a more powerful engine. What that means is you can attack your favorite set of corners with a free mind. Perfect. Even this version of the Macan is a model that takes the sport in SUVs really seriously. We've said this before, and I'll have to say it again, that the Macan is a sports car on stilts. I mean, the way it turns in, the grip, the precision of the steering wheel, and even the way it brakes, it's all just incredible. The clever all-wheel drive system that can send up to 100% of torque to either axle ensure there's always immense reserves of grip, while the standard adjustable dampers do their bit to keep the Macan settled and composed at all times. And that sportiness isn't at the cost of comfort. What helps in no small measure is the ride quality. The chunky tires really take a lot of the beating, and whatever remains is absorbed very potently by the suspension. The ride remains free of any undue movements and remains flat throughout, and it's actually quite comfortable in all the suspension modes. What's more, the suspension can also be raised by 40 millimeters to give you the confidence to clear large obstacles in the rough. Anyway, whatever be the environment outside, the setting inside the Macan's high-quality cabin is very business-like. The dashboard is typical Porsche, so the center console is a mass of buttons with a dedicated switch for virtually every feature on board. It seems a bit intimidating at first, but you quickly get used to the layout. There is a touchscreen and navigation too. Do note, not all of what you see is what you get as standard. In fact, like any other Porsche, your options tally can easily run into lags. For their part, the standard front seats are comfortable and supportive, and though the rear seat is well-shaped, space is down on most SUVs of this size. Then again, if it's the rear seat experience you are most concerned about, you are looking at the wrong SUV. Porsche has priced the Macan at 76.84 lakh rupees ex-showroom Maharashtra. It is expensive for this size of SUV, but few SUVs can do what the Macan can. So this is basically Porsche's entry-level model in India, but does it feel so? Absolutely not. It's got a powerful engine, so you can actually enjoy it as a sport SUV. Yes, it won't be as fast as the more powerful versions of the Macan, but will you be left wanting? I don't think so. So if you are in the market for a sport SUV, definitely give this one a close look.